and welcome to another weekly update. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying warm. If you're in a cold place and all the rest of it, So a couple of things to talk about this week. The first is to do with the bot framework, and this is something actually that's been coming for quite a long time, or at least I've been wanting it for quite a long time. And it's to do with how we display messages to users that are generated with AI content. So, for a while now, we've had things like the Teams Toolkit library. That's now been renamed and is called something else now, which is fine. It's the custom engine agent under the hood. It doesn't really matter, but we've had this ability to send messages to users as an evolution. And, that started with us writing code for what those messages were. And then over the course of the past year, 2 years, it's been possible for us to use large language models to help influence that answer, and that's been on us as developers, and that's been capability we've been doing. At the same time, Microsoft have said in their guidance, if you like, because they publish guidance for developers building Teams apps, and especially if you want to put those apps into the App Store. They have guidance and validation rules that you need to go through. And one of those that got updated fairly early on, I can't remember exactly when it was, but it could be as much as, say, a year ago, that said you need to make it really clear to users if the content you're serving them and showing them is generated from AI. And also, not only that, you need to give them a way for them to kind of flag the content and say, actually, like, this didn't work, like some kind of feedback mechanism. And at the time, I remember talking about this update to the rules. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember talking about the update to the rules and saying at the time, this feels like a thing Microsoft should do. Microsoft should build this into the platform, into the SDKs, so that there is a standardized way to show users, hey, this message comes from AI and here's how you feedback on it. And that should be in line with all of Microsoft's messages. Because Microsoft do this today. If you look at Microsoft generated messages in Copilot and things like that, they all say, yep, this comes from AI and here's the feedback. You got the feedback, the thumbs up, thumbs down. And that's in a kind of standardized way. And I wanted developers to have access to that same standardized way. Well, happy days. That is exactly the thing that's just come out now. So let me share my screen. This is a updated documentation page in the Microsoft Learn repository. I will be writing a blog post about this, but you are hearing it because I only found out about this last night. So you're hearing this for the first time. It only got published a couple of days ago. And so this is the ability now in code. Let me just jump to the code for a minute to say, look, to specify that this content is AI generated content. Okay. And if you do that, you get this nice AI generated thing, not really part of your message, but part of the overall experience that gets given to users. And this is great because this is something only Microsoft can do, like putting this AI generated thing in here in the standardized way alongside other Microsoft generated messages. Really, really good. Same with the feedback things. Really, really good. Same with citations, actually. Being able to put in citations in a kind of standardized way into the code like this as metadata, essentially. Really, really nice. Feedback buttons, again, same thing. Really, really good. You can enable them and then they just show up again in this standardized way with a nice feedback form. That's currently in developer preview at the moment. But again, making very nice ways of easily, like this being something that developers can build in, because that's also the only way in which this is going to work. It's all very well Microsoft saying, you've got to put feedback buttons in, you've got to put AI generated content messages in, and they can enforce those gates for what goes into the App Store, but they can't enforce it for every internal application. So because they don't, the way when you publish, if you publish to your organizational store, you don't need to go through app review. So making it really easy for developers essentially making it easier for developers to use the built-in thing than to write their own. That's how you ensure success. This is the carrot stick thing. You've literally made it easier for developers to build this stuff in than to do it any other way. So really, really good to see this. I think this is brilliant. This will form, part of my recommendation, if you like, to all new developers. If you're building an AI solution, please include these things because they just make your life easier as well. It means you don't have to code it up. You don't have to worry about it. And users get a standardized experience, which I think is really important. Okay, that's a good one. Other good things. There's an update to the Teams Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. There's some cool new things in here. There's a blog post about it. They've updated the user interface slightly to make it easier to get started. The thing that I jumped to was some new templates for building Teams bots and declarative agents. I've been using this for a while in pre-release, actually. It's nice. These new templates for declarative agents are very nice. They're very smooth. They make it very easy to get started and do the scaffolding stuff for you, so that's really, really nice. Some other stuff, you can now embed and include environment variables in your JSON file using the environment variable syntax, which is cool, meaning you can have different variables for different environments. Integrated debugging for declarative agents, that's cool. This is nice. You can see this is nice. So if you look at the screenshot, what's happened here is you've got a Copilot plugin, or declarative agent, sorry. I love that they still call it a plugin too in the code, but no, it's fine. Declarative agent. And you can see the process it goes through where it's got these matched functions, and then the one it's chosen and why, and then you can see the actual function call as well. This is really nice. This is new to me. I think I didn't see this in the pre-release stuff, so I'm excited to try that out. Annoyingly, this comes about 2 weeks after I could really have used some deep level debugging, but it's fine. So that's cool. That's good. I'm glad to see it here. I think that's kind of important because, and I've moaned about this before for sure, but with declarative agents and the orchestration that Copilot goes through to call declarative agents, it can be a bit of a black box. So it's really important that there's good debugging and good information that comes out of that black box to help developers understand what to do when it goes wrong. So I'm really pleased to see that in there as well. So that's good. Bunch of other enhancements and bug fixes as well. So if you use the Teams Toolkit, make sure you're on the latest version. It should auto update for you anyway, but just be prepared that the next time you go there, it might look a little bit different. And then a couple of minutes at the end just to talk about SQL Server, which has been in my life, my professional life, the whole time I've been working, I think. And I thought this was interesting because I hadn't really thought about it before, and I wouldn't necessarily have gone here for a technical blog post. This is, again, for the second week running, I think, a Directions on Microsoft blog, not by Mary Jo Foley, this one, by Greg Demicheli. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but this is talking about SQL Server as the polymath of databases. And kind of the point he's getting at is that SQL Server has always evolved with the times. And the latest version, which isn't out yet, but they're now kind of talking about it, is going to support vector databases, which is obviously the new hotness at the moment and what you need to run AI workloads and do LLM, Gen AI on LLMs, on local language models with RAG. That's the word I was looking for. You need that vector database to kind of support your RAG applications. So good to see that SQL Server is moving in this direction. Very interesting. So that's going to be SQL Server 2025, which is currently in private preview. I will absolutely be jumping on that when it gets into public preview. I think that will solve a lot of problems for a lot of people about what to do with their vector databases, where to put them, where to run them, how to look after them, how to secure them, how to maintain them. If they fall within SQL Server and that kind of SQL Server enterprisey environment, I think a lot of people will be very, very happy for that. All right, that's everything from me. I hope you have a great week, and whatever it is you're doing, it's a good one, and I'll speak to you all again next time.